Subject and sources of land law.
The subject of land law is land relations, relations of ownership, use and disposal of land, arising between its subjects, citizens, legal entities. Local governments and public authorities, in relation to the relevant objects, lands of Ukraine, land, rights to them, leases, rights to other people's land, easement, emphytusis, superficies. Rights to land share. The imperative method in land law is used in the field of land use management and protection. Determining the procedure for implementing the functions of public administration, maintaining the state land cadastre, ensuring monitoring of the state of lands, land management. Determining the procedure for conducting land auctions, setting restrictions on the use of land for its intended purpose, etc. In these areas of regulation of land relations. The authorized body is the relevant body of state executive power, and the obligated, the owner of the land or a person who uses the land on other legal grounds. Dispositive method of regulating land relations is observed in the field of relations between landowners regarding land use and self-management. The owner has the right at his discretion to own, use and dispose of the land belonging to him, to use its properties, to process and receive the relevant income, etc. Participants in land relations have the opportunity to regulate their relations within the limits set by law and thus meet their needs and interests. Land legislation is based on the following principles. A combination of features of land use as a territorial basis, natural resource and main means of production. B. Ensuring equality of land ownership of citizens, legal entities, territorial communities and the state. C. Non-interference of the state in the exercise by citizens, legal entities and territorial communities of their rights to own, use and dispose of land, except as provided by law. D. Ensuring the rational use and protection of land. E. Providing guarantees of land rights. E. Priority of environmental safety requirements. As an object of land relations, the lands of Ukraine for the main purpose are divided into the following categories. A. Agricultural land. B. Land for housing and public buildings. C. Lands of nature reserves and other nature protection purposes. D. Health improving lands. E. Recreational lands. F. Lands of historical and cultural purpose. G. Forestry lands. H. Waterfront lands. I. Land for industry, transport, electronic communications, energy, defense and other purposes. The system of land law as a legal branch is a systematized set of its legal institutions, each of which consists of relevant groups of legal norms governing homogeneous land relations. In turn, the legal institution of land law is the union of interrelated legal norms governing a relatively separate group of homogeneous social land relations. There are general and special part of land law as a legal branch. The general part of land law consists of legal institutions that contain starting points and basic principles, the effect of which extends to all or most of the relations governed by land law. It traditionally includes the institute of land ownership, land rights of citizens and legal entities that own land, the grounds for the emergence, change and termination of land rights, the institute of land use rights and more. These legal institutions influence the formation of the content and composition of the institutions of the special unit. A special part of land law consists of legal institutions that determine the legal regime of certain categories of land depending on their main purpose. It performs the concretizing functions of legal regulation. The legal institutions of the special part are related to the institutions of the general part. and their content relates to a certain type of detailed land relations. Land law as a branch of legal science studies social processes and problems that arise in connection with the regulation of land relations. The science of land law should increase the effectiveness of land law, contribute to the improvement of land legislation in order to organize the rational use and implementation of effective land protection. It identifies relevant problems, contradictions, conflicts, gaps, trends and directions in the regulation of land relations by legal norms, proposes measures to improve legislation, develops the scientific basis for its classification and systematization, and more. The system of land law as a discipline is the amount of knowledge, generalizations and information about the basic provisions and content of land law, which are taught in order to train professional lawyers, guided by the curricula of different educational institutions. The discipline taught may differ in the amount of information from the system of land law. At the same time, of course, the system of land law as an academic discipline is determined by the system of land legislation and is closely related to the system of science of land law.